Yesterday when I was coming home, I heard a radio commercial that a woman said, "We're all in this together." And this is after I'd listened to the testimony of who I'll call Eeyore. Dude sound like Eeyore. Yesterday in front of the House panel, I mean, the dude basically projected gloom and doom for everybody across the United States. We're in the darkest days. Then remembering what Dr. Fauci said a couple days ago, and it just wasn't sitting right with me. Like something was just not sitting right, and I didn't understand what it was, but I knew something wasn't sitting right, and I realized that something was being tapped that I couldn't put my finger on. And then the saying, the new normal, and this cloud started kind of forming in my mind. You think about like the cloud in your head, like it's kind of putting up. And then by chance, I was given information about this guy, Dave Portnoy, I think it's Dave, from Barstool Sports. And he basically had this whole rant about what we've been told that we were supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it. And so it totally kind of fed into my heart. So I was like, I mean, this guy's totally speaking logic here. So I'm forming this whole thing in my head. I'm thinking to myself, like, what the heck is going on, and why does something seem so off? And then, of course, last night, me and my wife started watching, I think it's The Rise of Skywalker, right? And C-3PO in that one scene where he realizes that he's got to do something that's basically going to wipe his whole memory out. And he's questioning, like, if they fail, the mission's going to be failed and all that. But he looks back and says, I'm looking one last time at my friends. And it hit me. It, like, totally hit me like a ton of bricks. Now, faith is the substance of what we hope for, the certainty of what we do not see. And some of you who are Christian, Hebrews 11, chapter 1, there was something in that I went to sleep on last night, and I realized what we're being fed. We are all being fed despair. This is the new normal. We're all in this together. Someone decided to make a new normal. Not that this COVID-19 did it. It's someone's defining what normal is. Someone's telling you that we're all in this together. You are in despair, I'm in despair. We need to accept despair. Despite everything and all the other stats and data that we all have been privy to, because we all have the ability to look and see some videos out there that go against what the Faucis and what the Eeyores will say, the naysayers against hope, but we'll try to drive in the message of despair. Each one of us is questioning it because something in our hearts is leading us away from the despair, and we are being led through a really dark valley right now, but at the end of that valley is hope. But folks are trying to redefine hope in being what they're saying is hope, and it's under their terms and under their message. This is hard to understand. You'd think that folks wouldn't politicize a pandemic, but it's actually happened in front of mine and your faces. And I said, and it just makes me think, right? I'm an American. I ain't an AmeriCANS, I'm an American. The folks in Michigan and Pennsylvania and New Jersey and New York. And by the way, what happened in New York with those convalescent homes? In Pennsylvania, what happens in those convalescent homes? Disgusting, disgusting. The folks in Washington or Oregon or even here in Killicali, people are leaning and looking for hope. And it's not just hopelessness, just to be hopeful. They're looking at it because it's a part of the human spirit. You were created with that. And you're being told to ignore it based off of scientific data. But the scientific data isn't all the data. The methods and means that are the medicines of the hope aren't actually the things that are being given to you. You're being fed despair. You're an American. And this is the deal. When there comes a point when you come to despair and you see that there's no hope in it, unless you've been there before and you know what's in, you know how destructive it actually is. My friends in high school, they would have never known why I would have been gone. I was living in despair and nobody knew it. And I was ready to go. And now I sit with people now who are in it as well too, and they don't know how to get out of it. and they need a word of encouragement that's not based on something stupid, not based on something that's, invisible or is not even possible. It's based on hope, because hope is what Americans actually do. We hope. We move forward, we go and persevere, and we freaking take our lumps. Sometimes it means that we take our lumps in the hardest way, but we take it and we do what needs to be done. I mean, Black experience is based off of that perseverance. It ain't based off of being angry about injustice. It's about persevering and taking the chances. And even some more Star Wars, when Jyn Erso in Rogue One says, before they're trying to take over that one planet and get the plans of the Death Star, I'm sorry, I'm a super Star Wars geek. She basically tells the folks in the ship, you just keep on taking chances. Keep on taking chances until you don't have any more chances. Every single one of us, we're being told to not take chances, to stay locked up, and to accept someone's definition of despair while being locked up. You are an American. You still get to hope. You still get to stand up and say, I've been given this opportunity. I've been given this opportunity to live, and I'm going to live. So whether or not you agree you want to stay home, that is completely your right, because you are an American. But if you want to go out and you want to put the mask on, you want to put the gloves on, find a way to survive. Find a way to thrive, and find a way to define your normal based off of what your life is on, not on what somebody else tries to redefine it as. You get to make that up. You get to be the person that you've desired to be, and you get to become that person that you've always hoped for. People are looking to you for inspiration. They're not looking to you for despair or capitulation. You don't have to accept someone else's definition of normal. You get to make it because you are and have this chance at living. Don't be easy at dying. Dying while laying down, forget about it, man. I'm trying to live my life that way. And I just wanted to say that. I woke up with that on my heart, and there comes a point where it's like, I gotta say something. Don't accept somebody's definition of normal. Don't accept somebody's ideal of despair. Never forget to hope, because there's people out there that need it. They don't need it for baseless reasons. They need it because they need to survive, as do you. And I'm praying so much for our nation right now. You have hope, and I'm hoping for you and praying for you.